Hello. How is everyone? We're still in some really gorgeous energy. Hi, Shauna and Cheryl and Juan and Lee and Shingamafal. I hope everyone is lovely today. We still have Moon in Pisces. It's conjunct Saturn right now and kind of finishing. It's separating from its trine in Venus, but it's moving into that trine in Mercury, which is really nice. It's also hitting my chart very nicely. Pretty happy about that. But you know, we're still having that water sign trine today. You know, and while Capricorn is the sister sign of, you know, all of the earth signs have a water sign for a sister sign. They're in the same polarity. And so there's really some beauty to this energy. And we have Uranus and Mars in Taurus still. And, you know, we know that Pluto is moving its way back to that 29th degree for a hot minute. That won't happen until September. But there's, I mean, yesterday the moon was trining the sun, and then later in the day Venus into the morning actually. And now, although it's in separation, it is it's beginning it's in a nice applying trine. The I love you more conversation, if you don't know what a trine is. And if you don't, it means you're probably new here. Hi, I'm Susie. I'm trauma-informed professional astrologer, metaphysical practitioner, and I like to give you analogies that kind of make sense. There's lots of technical places to learn astrology, but just so you understand what I'm saying, I love you more is what I've always used to explain what a trine feels like. So when we have the moon in Pisces, which is romantic, and then we have Venus in Cancer, which is romantic, or even Mercury in Cancer is romantic, and we have these I love you more conversations. You know, I want to say, as much as we can like anticipate maybe hearing from somebody or hoping something happens, if like, you know, there's been nothing going on but the rent in your love life, I want to make sure that I'm also saying when all of this energy, right, is available and it's so loving and it's Cancerian and it's so nurturing and it's Venus, so it's all about like what we value, the things that we value even in love. What about loving somebody do you value? What makes you love somebody? What do you value about them, right? And so when we're having these energies in the sky, make sure you're applying that to yourself, because we've been having a lot of conversations this weekend about like the perception. I want to say it was it Sag's reading or Leo's reading, was like a lot of stuff came out sideways, and it's like, I want to say it was maybe Sag's reading, where it was like the event is the event, and then how we perceive the event is how we will ultimately experience the event in an emotional and mental way. And so, you know, and there's conditions around that. That's not just, you know, it's not just easy peasy deciding to feel a certain way. And we are supposed to feel our feelings and process. But when we have this much romantic, this much loving energy, if you put all of your expectations that it means that you're going to get that message or something's going to move in your love life, it's almost like a waste of all this energy, right? When you can just give it to yourself. I talk about a sponge. When you get a sponge, especially from like a name brand or a really good store brand, when you take it out of that plastic wrapping, it's already moist. And if you've ever thrown your sponge in like the washing machine, I do that a lot, and it goes through the drying cycle and it's bone dry. If you put that bone dry sponge on a pile of water, it won't absorb it. It needs a little water within the sponge to absorb better. We're the same about love. If we don't have enough self-love for ourselves, we are like the dry sponge, feeling like water, feels like a foreign object. And when somebody actually tries to give us love, we can inadvertently push it away because we don't find ourselves lovable. We start to question, what is wrong with you? I mean, if you've ever had somebody that you were crazy about that suffered from insecurities, anxiety, low self-esteem, and you're like, I'm crazy about you, and they're like, yeah, that's the first clue there's something wrong with you. That's somebody who's working with a dry sponge. So we can look at all of this energy and really focus on, I hope I hear from someone else. I hope something moves. I hope tall, dark stranger bumps into me in the grocery store and there's a meet cute. But again, a lot of it is perception. And so the expectations we set. Yesterday, I want to say it was during air signs, there was a conversation about, might have been fire. There was a conversation about, does that mean we're letting go of unhealthy attachments? And before I could answer that, I wanted to prompt the question, can you quantify what a healthy attachment looks like? Because attachment in itself, to me, denotes something there's room for it to grow and be healthier. If something really feels like an attachment. So if you have an attachment to how you hear, oh, the moon is in Pisces and it's romantic, and then Mercury in Cancer. So between that Pisces moon, which can be very expressive, and a Cancer Mercury, after it's, it's in orbit in a trine, it's in aspect in a trine in between that Venus and Mercury in Cancer, for sure I'm going to get that message, right? For sure somebody's going to say something to knock my socks off and sweep me off my feet. And then if it doesn't happen, you've taken some prime fucking astrological energy and through perception and expectation, kind of squandered it when you could have put it on yourself. You could have wet your sponge. Just want to make sure I'm saying that. I didn't plan to say that. I had no plans to say that. I sat down with zero plans. It's not written out. It was not planned to say that, but it feels really important at this moment. I don't know who I'm talking to, if it's one or if it's many. But anytime we have beautiful, nurturing, loving, romantic, gushing, astrological energy, don't wait for somebody else to decide whether that was useful for you or not. Okay, that being said, we are going to look at Earth signs today for June. And then all the signs will be done. I got a fantastic call from my son and his partner last night. So I kind of interrupted fire signs. So if fire signs say Leo, Aries, and Sag, and you only see Leo and Aries, it's because I ended up doing the Sagittarius reading after I took the call from my son. I'm a Cancer mom. I mean, kids are the first thing. Oh, you're welcome. So we're going to look at that. Hey, Will. And I'm getting email questions, so I just want to clarify a couple of things. The flash sale is till Sunday afternoon. You can book as many as you want. If you don't know where you want the appointments now, it doesn't matter. As long as you get to an appointment 12 hours before it's supposed to start, you can move it anywhere you like. And you can book up to 7 months in the future is how I have the sale set. If you decide to get that extra level that we added yesterday, of membership that includes a discount, you can stack the discount with the flash sale. And that also comes with one emailed metaphysical question a month. So you get everything you get with all the other levels and a discount that's good all the time. And even if I'm running some kind of special, I normally only do that twice a year. But anyhow, if I'm running some kind of promotion, you can still stack that one. And so you would be able to do it now and get like 30% off some of the stuff. And as requested by my lovely community, I have now put, I want to say there's 19 things on sale in my Etsy store. 20% off and free shipping. Hi, Juan and Maricela and Shauna. So that's all on my website. So if you go on my website, within the header title, there's a button to join membership. There's a quick go to button to just contact me and ask me a question. There's a quick button for the birthday sale right now. And there's always a quick button for Evolutionary Goods, which is the Etsy shop. And like I said, that is going to stay a week, the Etsy shop stuff, but it's 20% off and free shipping. My favorite thing on there is the Approach Accordingly, and it's the Sun, Moon, Rising. And you can, you get to write in what your Sun, Moon, Rising is. And we have it in a t-shirt. We have it, I love the cell phone case, it's kind of my favorite. But we have it in a t-shirt. We have it in a v-neck. I think we have it in a sweatshirt. It's super cute and you can get those personalized. And there's the, in my Divine Feminine era, and you can also get like personalized written in the stars, and it's you and your partner's names and the constellations. And we have wall art for those. We have ornaments you could hang from a car. I don't have those on sale right now, but if you want them on sale, just let me know. But quite a few people have gotten like the ornaments and the wall hangings, and there's actually reviews on there about them. So those are the announcements, and I'm only going on about the sale because I'm getting lots of email questions. So because I just made the email blast I sent out like pretty short and sweet. So yeah, you can get as many as you like, up to 7 months. And if you do choose to go that higher level of membership here in YouTube, you can stack the code. And if you're already a member and you're upgrading, we'll send you the code. And if you're a new member, you would go to the welcome to membership video, and it's the link to the Google form you fill out to get all of your perks. Okay. If you could just put the plain old website up there too, Emily, if you don't mind. So that's everything then. You can get to the sale, you can get to the Etsy, you can get to membership, you can just ask me a question. But the newer level of memberships, it doesn't matter if it's in the beginning month or end of the month, you can email me something, just a question, and I will answer through email within 48 hours. Is part of the higher membership. So let's look at, start with our Taurus at 13:57. Let's just call it 14 minutes. Let's just call it what it is. You know, and Taurus and Cancer are like peanut butter and jelly in my humble opinion. So you know, you've got these beautiful sextiles, Taurus, right now. You've got Uranus and you've got Mars, which are kind of like the, you know, the Mars can be passion, right? And Taurus Mars, let me tell you something. Somebody with a Taurus Mars wouldn't kick them out for eating crumbs. You know what I'm saying? But that Uranus is just surprises. It doesn't always mean the surprise should be unwelcome. They are interruptive. It doesn't always mean the interruption should be unwelcome. It depends, right? But then you have all of those beautiful sextiles to Taurus placements, to the Sun, Venus, and Mercury. Not so shabby. And you have a sextile to the Pisces moon. and to the Saturn in Pisces, which is conjuncting that Pisces moon right now. So Taurus has some good stuff going on, and possibly some passion, quite frankly. I keep saying I have to get a Taurus shirt up there. I don't want to say what I'm going to have it say, but I have checked with many Tauruses. And so everybody except for my daughter, who's a Taurus, agrees with what I want on the t-shirt. So many wrenches in the chat. All right, Taurus, that being said, let's get the subject matter of what your guides want my guides to talk to you about. Pass you a note in Jim. I have to move my incense after a while so it doesn't burn. Your idea is fun and fresh. Your idea is fun and morose. Your idea is dark and morose is what your idea is. Funny, maybe. Universally appealing? I think not. That's what I get for being, you know, employing dark humor while raising children. Now they have it. This reading is also good if you have strong second house placements. And then next month, I have to get back to pre-recorded readings because I gotta tell you, the YT, no likey, the live stream. The second I started recording and editing and putting them up that way, they love it. Push me out, which is sad because I did like 3 years of all live readings. And I'm just doing it this way because it's kind of easier towards the end of the month. And I'm a busy girl. Shauna, remind me to send you something when I'm done. She's gonna know the answer to that. It's all right. Well, Maricela, I hope I did you proud because you were like, yes, Etsy shop. The BML baseball cap should be in the sale. If it's not, Lee, can you fix that? Can you put it on sale if that's what Maricela? And if you see something and you want it in a different color, just email us. We're happy to accommodate whether you want the writing in a different color or a shirt in a different color. Okay, Taurus, second house placements. Let me get focused. Call back on my power to me now. Okay. Woo! Okay. Strength in reverse. That's the first card out. Let's see the second card. I think there's more than one baseball cap. And like if you see something in a shirt, but you want it in a baseball cap or you want it on a phone case, just let me know. They didn't call them the Brothers Grimm for nothing. Also in the original Snow White, there's also her sister. Does anyone know? There's a little fun fact of trivia. Does anyone know what Snow White's sister's name was? Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. Okay, we have a Three of Cups. This is celebration and reunion, and the Strength card in reverse. The second that Strength card came out, I didn't think of it as like someone was being like weak in a way that we would. I mean, I'm not of the philosophy or the like, it's not within my professional philosophy nor my personal philosophy to like look at somebody and think, oh my God, they're so weak. That's not a strong person. Everybody goes through different things in their lives and have different trauma responses, right? But the second I got this, what I heard was, I get so weak in the knees, I can hardly speak. I lose all control. Do you see this photo? Something comes over me. Yeah. That egg is cracked. You're not uncracking it. And then we have a Three Cups, which is celebration, reunion. Sometimes it's three people in a relationship, but I don't see this card is very celebratory. There's either a reunion or a union. This is very like, I don't always see these readings. It's like, this is definitely a love reading, but I feel like this one's gonna be. I'm smirking because Will's answer is hilarious. Sure I don't step on him. Okay. Let's get more details. I mean, whatever you've been resisting, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, second house placements, Taurus, Venus, if you like it, I love it. If you feel like it's for you, take it. And if those are all of your placements, if you have Sun, Moon, well, I guess it wouldn't be Rising, but Sun, Moon, Venus, if you have a stellium in the second house of Taurus and this gives you anxiety or feels uncomfortable, don't take it. Hi, my Axel. Sweet, sweet Axel. He's the best. Okay. I'm hearing the SWV. Wait, what's the second? In a daze. I don't think I can think it. I think I have to. Something comes over me in a daze. I'm so amazed. Your love makes me weak, knocks me right off of my feet. This is can't explain what your loving does to me. All right, what your loving, yeah, what your love does to me, or how your loving makes me weak. I feel like it's that second verse. I don't know if this is something you tried to pull away from before. Whew. Yeah, it's not a phase. I want you to stay by my side. But the Strength card, that's major arcana. So this doesn't feel like I'm having a weak moment. I'm going to slide into somebody's DMs. What you wearing? I was thinking about you the other night. Not that kind of stuff. This is like a break. The thing is that I don't feel like you resisted this person because this person is toxic. I think one, it's timing. I'm trying to remember whose reading was like that. And the other thing is, all of a sudden I feel really out of breath. Like really out of breath. Like I just ran 12 blocks. What the heck is this, Taurus? My heart is racing 1,000,000 miles a minute. Give me a second. I feel tears. My heart's beating. Like I'm having palpitations. It's fun. When you're clairsentient, sometimes you literally get the physical stuff. And I feel out of breath, like almost like, you know, when you were a kid and you swam a lot and then you were like, you felt like that thing in your lungs where you're not fully out of breath, but you kind of feel winded just from the swimming. Like I feel the need to take deliberate deep breaths because my breath feels shallow is what I want to say. And I don't think you resisted this person. Here we go. It's going to be a whole reading, 2 cards. I don't think you resisted this person because this person is bad. And of course, if you're cross-watching, do you. You or the other person had to maybe get out of something. Which was not convenient. And I'll tell you what, asking a Taurus to move and shake everything up in their life, it was like asking a, oh wow, hi the Gia Allen DC, welcome. That's crazy. Oof. Asking a Taurus to shake up everything in their life is like asking a redwood to uproot and move after it's been rooted for years and years. Okay, let's get more. I still feel... I may not eat the rest of my birthday cake. Let me tell you something. Your girl Lee knocked it out of the park and made phone calls to New York to ensure that I got a birthday cake that was exactly like my favorite birthday cake when I was younger from New York. Oh, I don't know what you're apologizing for, the Gia Allen. It's not you. If I'm getting that feeling, I release any energy I'm not supposed to carry. So the energy is that of the reading. So, and I'm also getting it with like palpitations and also feeling like tears. So while I might be pulling your energy a little bit, or that might have been like how you know to come in this room, don't blame yourself, and I can handle it. It's what's supposed to come in as confirmation. Yeah, she got me my favorite, which you cannot just go. It's not on anyone's menu. She had the bakery special make it. And my brother was like in my state and like literally called and said, hey, I can be there in 10 minutes. I was like, perfect. You're going to be here for cake. So he like walked in, the cake come out, and he didn't get what all the hoopla was about because, you know, he had just gotten there. And I just slid the cake over after I blew out the candles and said, smell that. And he smelled it. And the first thing that he said is Ben Kurtz, which was a very famous bakery in New York where we grew up. Smells like Ben Kurtz, which is a huge compliment to the baker here. But holy cow, it was perfect. It was nostalgia. It was like having my parents there. Amazing. Yeah, she did the damn thing. Okay. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. No worries. I'll post pictures of everything. All the food. She brought everything home from the store and cooked it herself, except for the cake. This might be somebody, when you see their picture or they see your picture, their stomach does little flip-flops. Like, it could be the same picture and they've seen it a million times. And it doesn't matter if the picture is new or old, or even if you look like shit or they look like shit. Doesn't even matter if it's like one of the worst pictures. When they see your face, and it's in the eyes. It's in the eyes. Oof. My heart's beating so fast. This might be them at you, or might be you. All right, let's get your energy. I want to just pull everything else that was being channeled. And clearly I manifest. There's that Pisces moon with the Cancer Mercury. By the way, it's sitting on my Mars. They're both talking to Mars. My Mars. So I am physically feeling that transit right now. I know I should have more of a schedule, and I would do better on YouTube, but I tend to schedule my lives around like electional astrology for live streams, if you will. I find the readings are amazing when I started doing that. All right. What other energy? Let me get a card for energy. Why are you not giving me cards? Okay, there we go. The Fates. This is the Wheel of Fortune. You feel like things are changing. You can probably smell it, Taurus. Six of Pentacles. Reciprocity. And also being generous. Listen, whether it's you or the other person, something about this situation made things not possible earlier. And when I'm saying earlier, I don't know if this was a year ago, year and a half ago, 7 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. But at some point, this was almost something. And it was one of those things where it's like when two people meet and it's kapow, brown chicken, brown cow, and all the other good stuff. And yet it just doesn't, it like collapses. And there may have been a little ghosting or a little unhealthy relationship behavior from one or both of you. And I think there was probably some in-between time of then, when it first just all you met and it was kapow, and now, where you might have spent a little time, or they might have spent a little time not having such generous thoughts for the way things were handled last time. Now, this has changed. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Six of Pentacles, which is generosity. I see it as equality. Let's see what their energy is. Let's see what their energy is. I feel like I could talk about 5 minutes. I get that. And, you know, and this is what I'm saying. I think when you first met this person, because again, 3 cups would imply, you know, possible reunion. But I think the time apart, you healed in ways that you might have not healed in this relationship or any relationship. All right, let's pull for their energy. And I think that whatever healing you've done, whatever understandings you have with universe, how universe works, how healing works, any of that stuff, there's almost gratitude and generosity about the situation now, but 3 years ago you were like, can't pay me to deal with that person again because they're not consistent. And I don't feel like you've gone back on like what your heart's beating again, non-negotiables are in a relationship or how you want to be treated. It's just that you're not salty at them for not doing it right the first time because it wasn't, you realize, one, you still wouldn't be together if it was attempted last time. Both of you never would have made it through. And second of all, what occurred in that time off is what I want to say has been beautiful. All right. Where's their energy at? Two of Wands. I am telling you, this is indecisive. But, you know, that strength is major arcana. So if there's a break this time, yeah, and I do believe, like, Shauna wrote the other, like, what was it? I swallow my pride. I want you. It's not a phase. I want you to stay with me. That's what this feels like. Let's see what else we get for their energy. That's beautiful. Gia, email me because I would like to participate in anything like that. In some way, like donate services or donate like empowerment sessions or something. Please email me. Emily, if you could drop the website, there's a contact button and just be like, hey, this is Gia from your live. I would love to I would absolutely love to participate. I couch surfed with my little one for like 2.5 months. It was not fun at all. And somebody recently tried to like shame me for it. I was like, yeah, that ship has sailed. We don't do that here. That's not the space for it. So yeah, I would love to. I don't want to spend, I'm sorry, Taurians, but please email me because I would love to do something. Okay, so they also have the King of Swords. I'm never mad at a King of Swords. Now for Taurus energy, sometimes the King of Swords is like attractive and also how dare you. It's like both at the same time. It's both at the same time. You like that they're like direct and upfront, and they might inspire you to move in situations you would otherwise feel stuck in. Taurus is it's earthy and fixed. Okay, what? Seven of Swords came out backwards. First Taurus reading I ever did on YouTube had a Seven of Swords backwards. I don't know why I remember that, but I do, and it was not like that was last month. Seven of Swords in reverse to me is universe telling you there might not have been full trust in this situation before, but you can trust now, because the thing is that even if there's a screw up or a misstep on their part, you are not tying it to your worth. I don't think this is something I get so weak I can't, you know, it's not a phase. I want you to stay with me. And this reunion card, I don't think you can avoid this much longer. It's better to explore it. You're both completely different, and you're both so much healthier. I don't think they're the same person. I don't think you have to worry about cheating, you know, shady shit. Hi, Tisa. And that's all great. But also, like, no relationship is perfect, because a relationship includes 2 and sometimes more human beings. We're all imperfectly perfect, trying to grow on our journey, right? And so the thing is that any missteps by them isn't going to send you down a dark road, because you're not attached. You understand that it has 0 to do with your worth. And I'm just hearing this, so I'm going to say it. It has 0 to do with whether you're enough. Yeah, really important for Taurus. Okay, let's get an advice card. So even though this starts out looking like a love card, this really is about you and your relationship with yourself, your growth, and universe confirming, like, you can't not fully live this lifetime because people might screw up, because you know what? People will screw up. And it's how you attach yourself to that. Okay. Yeah. Yep. The advice card is the Knight of Pentacles. You've been going so slowly. This is such a Taurus reading. You've been going so slowly and so carefully. Carefully I step, right? Inch by inch. That's only the old people will recognize that soundbite. Knight of Pentacles is geriatric. He is slow because he's not there. He's not interested in a quick time or a good time. That knight is interested in a long time, in stability. But there is a hesitance to the knight in the Knight of Pentacles. They're very thoughtful. They're very pensive. And they will stop and pause on the journey where you think like, oh, they're almost here. They should be here in 10 days, 10 months, 10 years, 10 minutes, right? And then there's another break because they've stopped to contemplate again to make sure, is this the right decision? So when we see the Knight of Pentacles and it's in reverse, it's like it's ready to be released. It's ready to speed up. So the advice card is stop with the Knight of Pentacles stuff. You can't over-contemplate something into perfection. I love my guides. I've never said that out loud before. You cannot over-contemplate anything into perfection. Just let that hang in the air for a minute. We have a community member on here, Stacy, who always like writes back in my comments, like the things that I say out loud. And she was like, damn, that hit, right? And I love her for it because they said one day if I ever want to do, when I get to finishing my oracle deck, all I'm going to do is like search her name in the comments, because she has all of my quotes preserved in my YouTube comment section. I say I'm going to write them down. I say that I'm going to like take that little sound bite out and make it a short video. I never do. Listen, I have flaws. I try not to make denial one of them. All right. What is the possible outcome for this situation? My lovely, lovely Taurus placements and second house placements. The Magician. That's saying that it all just depends on how much movement, belief you put into it. You have all the tools you need. You have the magic you need to make this happen, just so you have a life fully lived. All right. Because let's just take a divine love card. I don't think we need a whole separate love reading for this. And then we're going to take some, we're going to take an oracle advice card, because Uranus is still not until next, I want to say, is it next June? Uranus moves into Gemini. But you want a pizza and butt touching card? Get married on a mountain. Pizza and butt touching, and leave the government out of it. Okay. So, I'm gonna do an advice card, because with Uranus going through Taurus, I feel like that's more useful to my lovely Taurus people right now. So what you have is soulmate recognition as a love card. Let's pull some money cards, and then we will move on to Virgo. Tisa, I still have an email to send you. My whole week got... Was it Thursday into literally Tuesday night? My body was like, hey, it's almost your birthday. Fuck you. And then I woke up on my birthday and I was like, that is night and day. And then I had to like cram in everything. Saturday was a complete wash. Okay, so there's something here about money. Yep. There's somebody that's tied to you financially. And I'm going to tell you, I have the Page of Cups in reverse. You're not getting the apology, even if you deserve it. I have the Page of Wands in the upright. They're lying about what their abilities are. And I have the Hangman and the Eight of Cups. If you are trying to partner with somebody right now, Taurus, if you are thinking of doing a business collaboration, I would be aware that somebody might be over-exaggerating what they can do for you. And also, if somebody owes you money, you're not going to get an apology. It's not going to repair whatever needs to be repaired by being like kinder about that. And you may need to just kind of, how do I say this? There's an old saying about like, if you want to get rid of somebody in your life, lend them money. I think there are other reasons that this might have gone, but I just see like if there's a business collaboration or something, and you've got money kind of tied with somebody, double check their credentials, double check like ask them for a credit check, those kind of things. Something here is amiss. And I almost feel like there was already a little kind of sign of that. And you're kind of waiting on an apology to show that they recognize, like, that's not how we're going to do things moving on. And I don't think you're getting one. Just saying. Let's pull an oracle card. Let's pull an oracle card. This is just general advice from universe right now, specifically for the Uranus going through Taurus. Closing door, completion. Whatever comes in and disrupts, it's going to be because a door needs to be closed. And sometimes Taurus does not. Needs a little support, needs a little cheerleading about closing the doors, right? Hey, blissful knowing. Okay. Woo. I am releasing any energy that does not belong to me and is no longer at my highest good. I'm about to do Virgo. I'm about to do Virgo. I'm going to shuffle a couple of times. Lee, can you just write like Virgo with the little Virgo symbol? Doretha! Now, I sent an email a couple of days ago. I know you've been busy too. I can feel it. Just a clarification on the numbers that I have. Okay, so we have the Ten of Wands, and I love this Ten of Wands card because if you look, we are looking in the mirror at our old self too. So this Ten of Wands, I always see Ten of Wands as that Ace of Wands comes in and it is woo, right through the sacral chakra. It is Kundalini. It is awakening physically. And then we have, the Two of Wands making a choice, the Three of Wands making another choice and leaving things behind because there's got to be sacrifice with this thing that you want so much. The Four of Wands we're celebrating, right? And there's like divinity around whatever this is. It feels divine. And then the Five of Wands, we're already in inner conflict. The Six of Wands, we're back into victory, right? The Wands has a very erratic flow to it. And so when we get to the Ten of Wands, you've advocated, you have communicated, you have defended, and now it is time to put down what is no longer yours to carry out of that passionate thing that you picked up. And it doesn't mean that you were never supposed to pick up that passionate thing. It means you have gotten all that you were supposed to get from it. Thank you, Jory. I had an amazing birthday. Thank you. So this Ten of Wands really shows the old you or the old them, whoever I'm reading for, in the mirror, right? Through all of this growth and all of this passion, and now it's to be put down. It's completing its 10. It's completing a cycle, completing a chapter. What else do we get for Virgo? That sounds lovely, being by a lake at this time of year. You're probably a lot cooler than the rest of us. Okay. We have a closing of a chapter and an opening of a new one, Virgo. This is very, very much completion and cycles. And, you know, with the Neptune in Pisces, Saturn in Pisces, and even the moon in Pisces right now, there's a lot of other energy on your seesaw, right? In your sister sign. Thank you. The Six of Cups came out too, so I want to say in this Six of Cups, this to me is very childhood healing. And again, we have this skeletal figure here. So there is, you know, we can be older, or we can have had a lot of life happen to us even at a young age and feel like, oh no, I learned that lesson. And I learned that lesson. I know that lesson, and I know this lesson. And I'm so glad to be smarter than I was 5 years ago, 5 minutes ago, whenever. And then sometimes there's stuff we don't realize that's so acclimated, so subtly, that it's attached to our inner child. It's attached to our inner core wounds. It's attached to how we were taught to speak about ourselves, how we were taught to decide whether our safety was polite and acceptable or not. There's so much that sometimes we just kind of stumble on letting... you know, healing a part of our inner child, so that, you know, the hyper vigilant, hyper independent person wasn't defended, wasn't protected. You know, the OCD person probably grew up in a house where there was absolute chaos all the time, right? And so, but you could say, like, I'm always jealous of people who are super organized or super clean. I have a friend who, if somebody dropped a piece of dust, if a cat, she would never have a cat in her home, but like if somebody came from someplace and had a cat hair on their jacket and it dropped on the floor, she would catch it and pick it up. Like nothing can ever be on the floor. She probably mops and sweeps her floor like 100 times a day. And the younger part of me used to admire how perfect her house was at all times. But I grew up with her and I knew the chaos that happened. There was no order. There was no predictability. Many times she would get off the bus and her mom wouldn't be there, and my mom would walk her over to her house. And whatever happened between the time my mom went to that front door, she would say, "Stay here, girls." We would be playing on the front lawn. She would go to the front door and go, "Okay, your mom wants you to stay over here." And it wasn't always that, you know, that was the thing. And then we would just wait until her mom would come get her. And sometimes she didn't want to go home, you know. But it took me a long time in our friendship to realize that was the source of why I was so jealous of how perfect her house is. Could this reading be any more Virgo? And to her, my childhood home probably looked like her idea of stability and perfection. And for me, it was not always safe. That is what it is, right? We never know. We're all dealing with something. When we have these 3 cards together, and universe gave me 3, there's a deep inner healing of even looking at, instead of like, this is why I make mistakes, this is why I have regrets, this is why I get into relationship cycles. There's literally something that almost looks good to everyone else that you're like, oh, I do that because of this. And then you heal it. Not because it was even having an adverse effect on your life, but because it is liberating that inner child part of you that felt compulsory. I'm not saying that word right. Compulsory to have that control, or like why that and it doesn't mean you have to give up. It doesn't mean you have to turn into a complete chaotic house, right? And you're still you have to be disorganized and messy, but it means that it doesn't feel unsafe if it's not perfect. Something, you know, where other people might admire you for it, and you've never looked at it as something that needed healing before. Woo! This is huge, Virgo. I want to say literally this is things that people have given you compliments for. Virgo, 6th house placements. You and Shauna are going to be waiting a long time for me to record myself singing anything. I love you both. But so that we're all clear on our expectations, because I wouldn't want to disappoint you, don't expect it. Now is a good time to talk about expectations. Do not expect me to record anything. I cringe every time it plays back. Okay, so your energy, we have the World card. This isn't a small chapter. This is a whole ass book you are closing. What did I say? One thing is stopping and one thing is starting. Closing a chapter, starting a whole new thing. That is more, this is just confirmation. What else do we get for you? Just thinking of it, I'm not gonna share it. Thought of something funny about me and recordings. What the heck is going on, Earth sign? See, this is what I try to say to people. And even when I record them, like, quietly by myself, when I do the pre-recorded, edited version and then uploaded, right? When I do the signs separately, but like, oh, I'm releasing earth signs or water signs today, there'll be similarities and the cards will come out like almost duplicates of each other, right? That happens for a reason, because of astrology. I get so weak in the knees. Yeah. But it's not that version of this. This is not the SWV version of the strength card in reverse. This is no longer feeling the need to be strong all the time because it's not safe otherwise. That is huge for you. You know, I have quite a few Virgo placements. And I've talked about this before, but I have a lot of shirts people gave me that say things like, I can't remember what the one gray one says. I'll have to go look. Maybe I'll wear it soon. But I have one that says, like, I'm never, I might not always be right, but I'm never wrong. You know, releasing that. A Virgo wants to learn and grow better. Somebody once said to me, like, oh, I don't want to do that because it's Virgo and they'll come for me if I'm wrong. And I said, no. If we respect somebody, we want that constructive criticism, because we have to be better the day tomorrow than we were today. We absolutely have to. So, like, we want that. But we might not argue with somebody who says, you know, you're cute, Y-O-U-R. Then we might get a little condescending, right? But we're not going to put a lot of heed if they can't complete a sentence into the constructive criticism of that person. But if we respect you, we want the information so that we can grow. Don't forget, Virgo is run by Mercury, right? So while all of the information comes into Gemini, just wants all of the information, both sides, right? And then Virgo takes it and edits it down to what is really useful and what is no longer needed. Stephen Lucas. Is it Stephen Lucas? Star Wars. What's his name? Lucas. George Lucas, not Stephen Lucas. I think I went to high school with somebody named Stephen Lucas. George Lucas, his wife is a Virgo and edited and came up with a lot of brilliant edits for especially the original Star Wars movie. Hi, Odelia. Thank you. I don't like hearing myself back. It's a me thing, but I appreciate that. Okay, in anyone else's energy here, it can feel a little foggy. So the other energy, it could be a person, it could be you fighting yourself, but the other energy here is like there's something foggy. Now, if you are going through all of this transition, Virgo, let me tell you something. I promise you. Other people are going to be befuddled. You've changed. You're a backstabber. You're this. You're that. Growth that makes other people, and this is any sign, if your growth makes anyone uncomfortable, that's a them problem, not a you problem. Expectations. Let's circle back. You owe no one to stay the same your whole fucking life to keep them comfortable or happy in your relationship. Hi, Susanna. I have a Gemini Mercury, Gemini MC. It's my final dispositor in my chart, and I have a Virgo rising with Virgo, so I feel you on that. Yeah, George Lucas. Yeah. Stephen Lucas is some kid I went to school with that lived around the block that I don't even have fond memories of. I don't know why I said his name. No offense. I'm sure he's all grown up and lovely now, but he was not nice to me when we were kids, so I don't know why I thought of that name. If we're getting the Seven of Cups for like the other energy that feels like it's in your field, I feel like you're getting resistance from people who are like trying to, well, you're not really like that, but you're not really like that. I feel like you're getting resistance from people who like, oh, remember when we used to do this? We should do that again. And it's not, I don't like you like this. It's not overt. It's almost like somebody quietly, lovingly cheering you on to stay the same, because remember how good it was. Remember how we clicked, and now we don't click anymore. There's no clicking. I kind of just had that in my real life a little bit, and I just said, you know, it's okay if we're not doing what we used to do 10 years ago. It was so easy, and if it feels difficult all the time, maybe we can just thank each other for where we were on journey and wish each other well and not have bad feelings towards each other at all, because I love you. But like pretending that we can hang out for hours when it's not, and it's not that they were not a growth person. We both grew. We didn't grow in the same direction. And it doesn't mean one of us had to grow backwards. Like, we don't have to. I have been saying this for years. One of my pinned videos on TikTok is that there doesn't have to be a bad guy. There doesn't have to be a bad guy. And if there's too much concentration on the bad guy, on the villain, You're taking all your energy off you. I don't know that this is a bad guy, but I will tell you what it is people confused by your growth. It wasn't overnight, but to them it feels like overnight because they're not yin into your yang the way they used to. I feel like you're less tolerable. I hate low vibration, high vibration bullshit. Oh, this is the high vibration. This is the, the high vibration of a sign, and this is the low vibration of a sign. That spiritual hierarchy that comes out of ego. What I want to say is that this is not an overnight change for you. This has been coming on for a while. They want it to be something it's not anymore. Let's get... I mean, celebration and mini wave to you, Virgo, because like... You're doing a beautiful job with what you're supposed to do. Especially right now. It's like getting a big promotion and you get a like huge pay raise, right? Or you get like headhunted by some company. And now you're in a completely different tax bracket than somebody else. And they're, schadenfreude. Their inability to be truly happy if they feel any kind of envy or resentment, and then they feel bad for feeling that way, but they still feel that way, and they're not masking it very well. I feel like we've all had that, where somebody should be like cheering you on and saying like, this is amazing. Like, how did you do this? Can I do it too? You're just like, oh, you didn't used to be like this. Instead of having the conversation over and over again of, how come we don't talk anymore? Or like, oh, you never call me, or, that kind of thing. Say like, hey, how is life different for you? Like, if we don't align, I'm just, and that's okay. But like, in what ways are life better for you? And like, is that something you feel like, ask people, were there points where you were lonely? Because when you outgrow people, there's going to be a point of loneliness until you find your new people. Especially Cardinal, and especially Mutable, and especially Virgo. Right? So like, ask them what the experience is like instead of guilting them for changing. For cross watchers. I'm not saying that to Virgos. Okay. Eventually, there's going to be either an I'm sorry and I love you, or a new person coming in that universe is going to bring in for you. But when you're doing this kind of stuff and this kind of stuff, universe is going to reward that. It never feels like that in the transition, right? You had that conversation at lunch. I love Virgo moons. You're all too self-critical, unless, you're at Yoda status. And if you are, then forgive me and please give us all your secrets. But Virgo moons can tend to be a little critical of themselves. Okay. And as I said in the Taurus reading, you cannot contemplate anything into perfection. Okay, we have the Hierophant as our advice card. The wisdom that you have, don't ever let anyone shame you for it. Just step into, you know, one, I'm going to say this, Virgos. When you are in a room of everybody that is your peer, and you know more, and you have wisdom, whether it is spiritual wisdom, educational, you know-how, life experience in a certain area or in a lot of areas, often peers are not the people that are going to welcome that leveling up. Find people who are hungry for what you have to share. Stop trying to convince yourself you're the same that you were and that life and the people around it still fit, because they don't. And stop trying to convince the people that don't want you to be any different that it's good to be different. Go find people that are hungry for what you know and go give it to them. You are the wisdom now. You are an advisor now. Go advise, but don't go into a room where everybody wants to think that we're all the same. And you will be on many levels. But if you have something extra to offer, the defensiveness of I already knew that is not winning friends and influencing people. And it's also frustrating you. And then people are going to be assholes to you. You are the advisor now. Go advise, but go walk into a room where they are like, oh my God, yes. Shh, they're going to say something. We're all going to be better for it. Get in that room. I'm not talking about sycophants. I had a boss say to me once, there are 4 levels in any place in life, whether that's a professional place, in career, or just in life in general. And there is the student, right? The practicer, the warrior, and the statesman. And, you know, they said that the statesman and the teacher basically like the same thing. But the statesman is still willing to be in that student phase in all times at life. The warrior is resentful for anyone to still look at them as the student. They're comfortable walking from the student to the practicer, but then they get to a certain point in practice where they become the warrior. The statesman allows everything they know to go out. They're not worried about somebody stealing, being better. They're not looking left or right to see what somebody's doing better than them. They hope they're in a room where somebody's doing something better than them, because it means when they leave, they've learned something. You've become the statesman. And if you stay in a room full of warriors, you are unappreciated and undervalued, which is already something that Virgo should be moving away from and mindful to be moving away from at all times in their journey. I said it when I advertised this on Instagram. I knew these readings were going to be something else because of the transits. I'm telling you, I know that I'm never going to have this 5, because I shouldn't say that. Maybe one day I will have 5 gazillion people on YouTube. But to do that, I have to be a slave to the algorithms. And I would much rather have electional astrology for my scheduled live streams. Because the readings. All right. Let's get a separate love reading for this, because clearly We're not doing that in this reading. What cards do I want? I want these for the love reading. And then we'll go on to Capricorn. You can feel like a warrior in certain places, but when you are, we're talking about like in careers and in rooms where you a warrior in that respect. I'm an Aries moon. I feel you on the warrior thing. But a warrior in that example, in that proverb, is somebody who resists any new knowledge because it implies that they don't know enough yet. All right, let's pull just separate cards for a little love reading here. Okay, we have Page of Swords. Somebody's watching. We have the Star card. Somebody's watching and healing. What else? King of Swords. Virgo does not mind a King of Swords at all. So we have a King of Swords that's watching and healing. And I always say, for me, the King of Swords represents somebody who will not speak to hear themselves speak. They will probably only say what they mean. And a King of Swords actually, for me, could be somebody that like almost you have to ask questions to get the information out of them. Because they're just not going to talk unless it is of value. And so with this King of Swords here and that Star card, Major Arcana, Court card, two court cards. Ooh, seashells. She sells seashells. Okay. Now y'all know why I don't drink, because I stumble on my words sober. So we have the Star card here, two court cards, and a Major Arcana. So this... There's a second full moon in Capricorn that comes after the Mars-Uranus, before Mercury in retrograde, and it's at a sign conjunction with Pluto. It's July 21st. You might get light communication from this person after that full moon, but I don't feel like you're going to get like full communication, understand what they're thinking or what they're feeling until after the Mercury retrograde is over. Somebody's watching while they're healing, and they're not going to say anything they don't mean, so they're not saying anything yet. Ba-bam. And let's just get a money card for you. Let's just get a money card for you. Oop. All right, so the Nine of Wands came out in reverse. Okay, and the Five of Pentacles came out in reverse. So, I'm hearing the Wizard of Oz. We're out of the woods. We're out of the... That is what I'm hearing. I don't know if this is financial break. I'm going to pull one more. This might be coming out of like financial, like scarcity mindset. Yeah. The Fool. There's something I think you were hesitant to try, and it feels like honestly the astrological transits would have been something that if you would come to me, because it's one of the things that I do in an astrology session, and said like, hey, I want to start a new business or launch a new business or invest in something, and I would have been nope, not wait, hold. What? There's a commercial, I want to say it's Carvana, and she's going hold, wait, right, and then okay, now, right. And that's what this feels like. Now you went hold for a long time, and now it's now, especially with the Fool card. Okay. Woo, Virgo. Me. I'm just going to hop on and do readings, and then we'll have dinner afterwards. How long? Maybe an hour, hour and 20 minutes. An hour and 30 minutes later, still have another sign to go. I'm telling you, electional live streaming. And also, I know other people are watching other things. You could not pay me to watch that debate. I will not bring myself to that level of whatever is going to be said. It'll all be in sound bites tomorrow. I would rather not subject myself to the word salad. I hope I didn't offend anybody, but that's how I feel about that. Okay, we're going to do Capricorn, and I feel like we need these guys for Capricorn. So that is what I'm taking out. I mean, it's such a waste of energy. I want you to look and see where you have 29 degrees of Capricorn. What house it falls in. If you're Capricorn, if you're not Capricorn, it doesn't really matter. I want you to look in there so that you have a heads up. September to November, that's when there might be a little chance to re-look at how you're doing something, to reinvest in your own empowerment, to reflect on what that area of life looked like since 2008. And how much you've grown. And don't reflect on the things that happened during that time that you feel like, woof, that's not something I love talking about, because we don't use the word shame here. Fuck shame and fuck politeness if it doesn't keep you safe. But what I want you to reflect on is how much you've grown and how you can feel safe within your body and your mind and your intuition, that is not how you roll anymore. We're just going to have a little tiny peek of it. Maybe I don't want these cards. These cards shuffled like a dream all day yesterday. And now today they're like, ugh. I love Capricorns. I have so many Capricorns in my life. You know, other side of the seesaw. Okay. Capricorn, what is the subject matter that my guides want? Your guides want my guides to tell me to talk to you about. And pass you a note and Jim. Okay. Four Cups in reverse. Four Cups is like you saying, I really want these cards, right? And I only want these cards. And universe is like, there's 30 other decks. And there's another deck that's even better because you've outgrown these, right? Like, let's say this is one of those decks where it tells you there's like almost no interpretation. You're just reading off the card, right? And your abilities have grown. And you lost the deck that says like somebody's bankrupt or, you know, old connection or whatever it is. And you lost those cards because universe is like, you're ready to level up, right? But all you want is these cards. And meanwhile, universe is like, there's all these other cards that are going to help you strengthen. And Four of Cups says, we don't want to see any of that. We're only interested in this. Go away, universe, with your gift. I'm not ready for it yet. It is in reverse, which means there is something that you were not available to see that universe wanted to give you before, and now you are, and it comes out with a gorgeous, beautiful Six of Wands. Victory. Six of Wands is victory. It is victory. It is winning. It is victory. There's a lot of ways that I can interpret a lot of cards. Six of Wands, unless certain depictions, sometimes there's a little bit of like pomp and circumstance and parading victory. But that Six of Wands, that is, we have sunflowers. It makes me think of my friend Lana. And what looks like a magical hummingbird, the star, there's a heart here. It's victory. Not only do you realize this gift that universe wants to give you, not only do you realize Capricorn's always happy for an upgrade. That there's an upgrade, but like you kill it. I mean, you are completely victorious with what, like, I'm almost envious because it feels like the second you have the epiphany of like, oh yeah, I do want that. I do, that is awesome. Because, Capricorn can be a little stubborn, even for, they're better at stability. They're better at follow through than the other cardinal signs. If they also could be a little bit more, not that Aries isn't stubborn, Cancer isn't stubborn, Libra isn't stubborn, but Capricorn wants upward movement, but maybe don't tell them how to do it. So because you have been skill building your entire life, that's what you're about, right? You are upgrading always, and trying to take people with you. While I understand that Aquarius is universally and understood as the humanitarian, I personally have always said Capricorn is humanitarian, one person at a time. So you've been skill building and skill building and skill building all the time, right? So when you are all of a sudden have the epiphany that this thing, you feel it in your heart, you feel it in your intuition, that this thing is now available to you, you can have it. It's like instantaneous. You walk into the success of it. You walk into the obtainment of it. And some people around you, including me, are going to be a little envious. And other people are going to can be envious and be like, that's amazing. Good for you. Wow. I wish I could have that, right? And other people are going to be salty. I don't have any other cards on the table, but I bet you any money they're going to say that. Yeah, Capricorns are absolutely humanitarians. They're not just work, 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 money, money, money. And I have a little video that says this, but if a Capricorn spends all of their quality time on you, that is like someone else spending every last penny on you, because quality time is their currency. They're ruled by Saturn. Come on. It's father time. Okay. Let's see. And what I always do, if you're new here and you're just watching the Capricorn, is if I read this, and I'm all about that self-empowerment. What information can I give you that's useful for you other than what somebody else is thinking, doing with their life, blah, 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 right? That's just how I read. And sometimes we need the other readings too, right? But like that's just my gig here. That's how my guides work. I mean, if you look at my chart, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. But you know, some people want a good love nugget too out of a reading. So if all of this is about self-empowerment, great for you. And also, I will pull a different deck for just love, like I did for Virgo. Okay. King of Wands. Yeah. So it's funny because they said the Six of Wands. Throat. The Six of Wands can sometimes be a little bit about like overly swaggering, right? And who's to say, Lee, I don't know if you could hear that, but there's like, you know, cats being problematic right outside my door. Because somebody closed my door and that's never good. Like, I'd rather have the door cracked so the cats can come in and out. When somebody shuts it to give me privacy, there's nobody ever down here. And then it goes like this. Annie wants to go out. Nikki doesn't want Annie to go out because Nikki gets salty because he doesn't free roam. He has to go into catio or a kitty cat playpen or something. So he kind of tries to grab her by her scruff, and then she makes those. They're not even fighting. They do this 20 times a day. They are siblings, and it shows. So she's coming to alert me of what she wants, but she can't get in the door. So she's meowing, and then he's telling her, you have to leave her alone. She's live. If I can't get in there, you can't get in there. I can't go outside. You can't go outside. That's Nikki. He grabs her by her scruff, and she doesn't like it. She's a Virgo with a Gemini moon. Don't do that to her. You have King of Wands here. So that little, like, pep in your step, I said they're going to... You're happy as fuck, and you have the King of Wands. You've got the Six of Wands, the Four of Cups in reverse. I love this for you. He is a snitch. I love this for you, Capricorn. There is, you know, now a lot of people are watching. So the Sun card isn't just happiness. I always say the 10th, you know, the Sun card, also to me is very much like the 10th house. It's the top of the chart. The Sun card, the sun is blaring in every direction, right? So I often say that the 10th house is like climbing a jagged mountain inside an atrium with an audience watching, right? It's very much about what people want to say. It's your reputation. And sometimes, depending on your placements and your 10th house cusp and the aspects, sometimes, one, you always kind of feel watched. And that people always have something to say. But the other thing is that sometimes your character and your reputation can be two different things. You've had plenty of that, and you are proud of what you just became victorious in. This isn't, what I say, it's a leveling up. And the sun is wonderful, and you're happy, and everybody is watching. And sometimes when you do well, other people will want to knock you down. Especially if you have Capricorn, especially if you have 10th house placements. I hear that, Gia. I feel like we have a lot of kindred spirits wandering into the chat tonight for Earth signs. This is very interesting. Okay. Hangman in reverse. It's time. Hangman in reverse for me is like when something releases, like the pinball's been held back forever and then somebody releases it finally. Universe saying, okay, it's time. We had you on a timeout because things weren't right and this was not going to work well. So there's Hangman. So it's in reverse, which means things are flowing. And that also aligns with that Four of Cups in reverse. Now let's look at the others around you energy. I feel like some people are going to be like, man, that's awesome. Good for you. If you ever want to look at your chart, you can see when that kind of stuff is ripe for the opportunity. We can look at progress, we can look at solar returns, we can look at lunar returns. And if you meet somebody, I can also tell you whether that's a run, Forrest, run, or like that's good. I tell the story all the time because I love it. But I have a client and she was like, oh, I got reports because she was like doing a dating site. She met this one guy and she thought it was kind of like sparky. And the report told her that was the good guy. And then she's like, and I met another guy and it was good. But like the report said no. So she already like went in with the mindset of like, well, I don't want to cancel the date. And I was like, give me those birth dates because reports are describing ingredients. They're not describing, like, salt is very different in a chocolate dessert than it is on a chicken, on chicken cordon bleu, or in a pot of chili, right? So, like, it was, reports can often just describe the ingredients, but not put together a full recipe, and how you're cooking it, and how it's being prepared, and all of that, and what the turnout is going to be. So I looked at both the charts, and I was like, no, you got these backwards. And they're like all moved in together now. It's been over a year, and it's so lovely to watch. But you know, and sometimes people are mad at me for that because I'm like, oh no, not this one. It'll be good. I understand the attraction, but it's not going to be long lasting, right? But I don't feel like you're going to have that reaction to any kind of a chart reading. I think things are what they are and you understand that. Where when other people put attachments to who they want because they're just looking for a forever partner. They're tired. They're Charlotte from Sex and the City. I've been dating since I'm 15. I'm exhausted. Where is he? When you go on dates or when you go into relationships with that kind of energy, oh, you will paint every red flag pink. But astrology doesn't lie. Sometimes our spidey senses, when, you know, love is a hell of a drug, and so is infatuation and attraction. But astrology does not lie. All right. Let's look at the other energy in this Capricorn reading. And again, we can do a separate love reading, and then we'll pull some cards for monies. Okay, we have the Lovers in reverse. It's possible somebody that felt like a choice becomes now not a choice. You also might not be interested in labels anymore, which I approve of. Everyone we come into any kind of serious interaction, whether it's for like a month or our whole lives, some kind of soul family that we're meant to, right? Even the bad experiences. Soulmates come in very different forms. We get animals that are soulmates, friends that are soulmates, kids that are soulmates, parents that are soulmates. And well, I'm not saying that twin flames don't exist. I think it's very dangerous to get like hooked on. I've had readings with people where I'm like, this is a beautiful synastry. And they're like, are they a twin flame? I said, I'm not seeing twin flame in the astrology of it. And I'm not feeling it. And the pendulum is saying no. And the cards are saying no. And they're like, oh, that's a shame. No. It's not a shame. This is a beautiful relationship for you. Because that label has become so bastardized and toxic. Not that they don't exist, and not that it could be a bad relationship, but that's just not how those work. Anyway, so this could be you getting rid of labels, or realizing somebody that felt like a choice is more like a karmic. And then we have the Nine of Wands that came out. So we do have somebody being defensive, and somebody who, and I feel like this is more friendship support, where you really felt like, hells yeah, you're winning. That's when everybody should be clapping the loudest, you know? And it feels like somebody who should be supporting you being defensive and turning from that soulmate feeling that like, oh, we were friends or sisters or something in another life, and now it's kind of not, it's not doing well. All right. The advice is the Magician. Keep going. You have all the tools. What did I say in the beginning of this? You're Capricorn. You've been skill building and tool building your whole life. It's what you do naturally. Universe is blessing this a million times. With the Four of Cups in reverse, with the Six of Wands, with the Sun card, with the King of Wands, with the Hangman in reverse. This is a whole lot of their problem. And Capricorn is good. If I tell you, listen, that's a them problem, not a your problem. I love Capricorns, because Capricorn will go, that's what I thought. Thank you for letting me know. Love the confirmation. Got it. Right? They're not resisting. They're not looking for a million reasons why this person is not being shitty. Right? A Capricorn will come to me for a reading, and I'm like, yeah, that's a them problem, not a you problem. Good, great. Thank you for the, like, I'm telling you, it's so refreshing. They're not going to look for the reasons why it was okay for this person to continually be crappy to them. That Magician is your advice card. By the power of Grayskull. You have all the tools. Do what you got to do. Be magical as fuck. So many. Very. My lovely dear client turned friend. Nicole is Capricorn Moon. Nicole Lilith Medium. Very gifted. She does a lot of card readings, but I will tell you, when she does mediumship readings, she described my backyard from when I was a kid. Like, even if there were pictures of my yard anywhere, and she didn't have access to my Facebook, and those particular pictures, which she described, are not on Facebook. And I'm not even friends with most of my family on Facebook, so, like, it's not even like, but everything on my page was locked down, and I don't think she did that. But she described so many things from my childhood, like, to a T. She's very talented. Capricorn Moon. There's no one sign or another that's more psychic than an elements. Ooh, Two of Cups just flying out. What is the outcome for this? And we have, there you are, King of Pentacles. Wisdom. You're not proving nothing to anybody. You don't have to be like, look at all this stuff I'm doing. You don't need anybody to show, like, and you're going to give back, and you're going to be generous, but to the right people. Certainly not this salty person, but, like, you're going to be generous. But the King of Pentacles is just so stable, and it's also an inner stability. It's not just about money. Let's pull a quick love reading for Capricorn. And a money card. Money, money, money. I'm going to do these for Capricorn. Let me not knock all of my decks. Clumsy. Yeah, Nicole is amazing. That's beautiful. Gia. Okay, let's get a love reading for Capricorn. Page of Pentacles, new start with somebody. So this is going to be brand new. This is not going to be a revisited. Five of Wands. I want another card before I'm going to talk about what I think that Five of Wands means in this energy. I don't love this Five of Wands because it's kind of strategic. It could be over contemplation. It's very Knight of Pentacles, like not moving, having too much inner conflict about before we make another move because we don't want to make a mistake. Ten of Pentacles, that is my happy ending card, very Capricornian. So a page moves into a 10, but there is a stall in between. Whatever's coming up for you, there's going to be like a pregnant pause, but it ends well. And I feel like I'm supposed to just tell somebody to have faith and do less. Okay, and where'd my money cards go? Okay. Yeah. I'm not here to make cute faces. I always say whenever and especially when I freeze. But I feel like my faces look like Sid from Ice Age. Ace of Wands, something new. Another like universe sanctioned, like lovely thing here. And we have the Emperor. All right, you got the King of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, Capricorn. This is a damn good reading. And remember, I know you know, like you've been hearing, Pluto's going to come back into your sign for a hot minute. Now, if you have 29-degree sun in Capricorn, you're going to want to reinforce anything around health, making sure you're feeding your body, you're not running yourself down, those kind of things. But, you know, I think otherwise that time between September and November is for you to be reflect to see how far you've come. See how far you've come. You've all been lovely. I've been Susie. Leave me a comment. Let me know how this reading hit. I think I have to make a card now that says pizza and butt touching, and I also have to make a card that said no amount of contemplation made anything perfect. And I like that Capricorn has something kind of fresh coming in. It looks like I love you, now you love you, and I will see you all. What day is it? Today is Thursday. I'll see you all Sunday.